Hello traders, welcome to another recap for the 18th of March, Monday. Showing my trades today with the Elite Range Bar system. I only traded the European morning today, and I've been doing that a fair bit lately because I've been trading some other markets during New York where I need a little bit of additional focus. But there has been some really good opportunities just in the European morning, and especially with some of the uncertainty that's coming back into the markets now with this Cyprus issue. There's going to be a lot of questions about the Eurozone. It's probably going to bring in some pretty good volatility on a consistent basis. So you want to make sure that you're prepared for that. Perhaps if it continues, looking to trade a little bit more aggressively than you would otherwise, just because generally the risk reward works out when you have that additional volatility that you can be a little bit more aggressive on your trades. Now, to start with today, I took a type 2 here. This was a pretty ideal type 2 that we look for. The timing of it was great. That's a hugely important factor for our type 2s, type 3 trades that we take with the Elite Range Bar system. It gave a pretty good initial move here, but then it stalled, hesitated around this 2900. I let it come down once into my area where I got a little bit of drawdown, but the second time it started to come down, I basically gave up on this trade and was taken out at break even. Now, as it turns out, if I would have been a little bit more patient, I could have caught a very good first leg here, could have caught an excellent runner, potentially all the way up to 2950 if I had held on, but it didn't work out that way. I missed the first leg of the trade, and sometimes that happens. If you're following your rules, if you're following your trading plan, sometimes you miss out on the first one. But just because you miss out on the first leg of a move, if it's a strong one, you have to look for opportunities to get back in. And that's something a lot of traders struggle on, is re-entering trends, especially strong trends, because they're always thinking about where they're going to be topping out, where they're going to be pulling back. And so when you do get a good move like this, you really have to look to take advantage and keep pushing along with the trend, pushing with the momentum. So I got in here fairly aggressively on the edge, but worked out quite well. It did actually draw down a little bit initially, but it wasn't long before it had popped to the upside. I had been hoping to maybe get to this 2950 area, but we started stalling out, and I had the type of pattern that I often look for exiting my trades. And so I took the 14 pips on there. I wanted to get something in the bank early. But from there, I did take another trade here, another type 1. This is a special variation. We call it a type 1 DP. That's a part of our advanced setups in our course, and it's one that, based on all of this momentum, all this upside momentum, we can take a slightly different type of type 1 to re-enter that trend. So I took this aggressive trade here. This one worked out really well, and this one actually was even steeper in terms of the movement up, other than this initial move here, but it had a really good steep move, a lot of momentum. So even though I had potential to exit in this area, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to give it a bit more time, and there's a fairly big difference between this sort of price action in here where I didn't exit and this sort of price action in here where I did. So that's something that Elite Range Bar traders, they'll recognize. I'm sure they can see the differences there in terms of what we're looking for. But because of that, because I let that one go, I basically trailed my stop up, kind of mentally trailing it up. And I did want to give a little bit of extra room to this trade because it was breaking so hard. And so I was hoping that there would actually be a fair bit more upside to it, which is maybe a little bit greedy to think when it's already moved this far. But I gave up a little bit right here. I gave up about 10 pips or so on that pullback. But overall, still very happy with 25 pips on that. In terms of this is another aggressive type 1 opportunity that could be taken. And just based on the area, it was pretty good, but obviously I was already in my trade. Now from there, that move had been very, very strong. We started to consolidate a little bit, started to tighten up, and I was thinking that we might see a little bit of a retracement. So I gave a very aggressive type 1 attempt here. This is one that I probably shouldn't have taken in retrospect, but at the time it made sense. I liked it as an effort to push a little bit to the downside to at least get to the 2950 and maybe beyond, but unfortunately I was wrong. It came back on me, and so I took a full loss there, 6 pips, but that's not something that I worry about too much if I take a full loss on something where I'm being a bit more aggressive, like I said, in a market that's moving very well. Now from there you can see the pattern as things tightened up, and then I did see another good opportunity to short out of that, and so I took that one for 14 pips, and this had a good spike down here. But rather than holding as we were bottoming out, we saw a lot of action happening in here, a lot of tick flow, a lot of volume. And so that basically forced me out of that trade for the 14 pips and prevented me from taking further shorts here, because after all, we do have this very strong move up happening, and it's not really something you want to fight for long. You can expect a retracement, but you wouldn't expect it to necessarily retrace all the way down. So we had a retracement, we were seeing volume coming in. At that point, I knew it was time to give up on shorts and start potentially looking for longs. Could have taken this one here, I didn't. And that one could have been good for 10 or even more pips if you took it right to the edge into here. But at that point, I just basically called it a day. I was very happy with the pips that I got. Like I said, 5 trades, 3 wins, a break even, 1 loss for 47 pips. That's an excellent morning, and I'm certainly not going to keep pushing after that and push into the London lunch or anything. So other than that, there was some really good opportunities, some fairly nice moves that occurred later on, but was trading other markets, as I mentioned. So hopefully you guys did really well today. I got some good pips, and hopefully this volatility continues, and there's excellent opportunities for everybody, whether you're range bar trader or other trader. Wishing you the best. Hope you get a lot of pips here, and hope this volatility continues. All right, guys, thanks. Bye.